Have you ever asked yourself, why am I still struggling financially even after committing to spiritual practice? Have you ever wondered why, despite chanting, meditating, and following the Dharma, your bank account still doesn't reflect your efforts? So, you're not alone. Any devoted practitioners find themselves facing a very real and often confusing dilemma. They've turned toward the path of inner peace, but outer prosperity feels more elusive than ever. Welcome back to the channel, beautiful soul. Today, we're diving deep into a tender question that many feel but are afraid to ask. Time learning Buddhism. So why I still broke? Is it wrong to want money? Does wealth contradict spiritual integrity? And more importantly, is it possible to be both spiritually awake and materially abundant? The short answer is yes, but not in the way most people think. Let's explore this together with honesty, compassion, and clarity. First, let's address the elephant in the room. No, money is not evil. Money is energy. It is a tool. It is a symbol of value and exchange. It reflects decisions, intentions, and flows of giving and receiving. But money, by itself, has no morality. It amplifies what already exists in a person's heart. Kind soul with money becomes a generous benefactor. Fearful soul with money becomes a hoarder. Wise soul with money becomes a steward. So the real question is not, should spiritual people have money, but who do you become when you do, and when you don't? Now, here's the next trick. With poverty is not a virtue. Yes, simplicity can be powerful. Yes, unattachment is vital. But being broke, being in debt, being stressed about survival, that's not enlightenment, that's struggle, and it's okay to admit that struggle. You are not more spirituals because you're poor. You're also not less spirituals because you want to thrive. Real work is not to reject wealth, but to refine your relationship with it. Let's break open the truth about money and spirituality. What in vague ideals, but in lived reality. You see, money is not the enemy of spiritual growth, but confusion about money often is. Any people who begin their spiritual path unconsciously inherit ideas that distort their relationship with abundance. They've heard messages like, money is a distraction, desire is bad, or true practitioners renounce the world. These phrases sound noble, but when taken literally or out of context, they can cause real harm. They can create inner conflict, where part of you wants to provide for your family, live in dignity, and express your gifts in the world, while another part of you whispers, you shouldn't want that. It's not pure. That inner war can sabotage both your finances and your faith. Let's make this clear. Spiritual maturity is not about rejecting money. It's about mastering your mindset around it. It's about asking, why chase money at a fair or freedom? Do I define myself by how much I have or how much I give? Do I see money as a servant or a master? Because money, like anything else, becomes what you make it. And just like your body, your voice, your hands, your heart, money can be part of your sacred offering. Let's return to the lived experience of so many who ask, why am I still broke after studying Buddhism? There are a few reasons this happens. Let's explore them deeply and honestly. 1. Misunderstanding the Dharma. Some students mistake renunciation for rejection. They think letting go means not allowing wealth into their lives, but true renunciation is internal. It's non-attachment, poverty. The Buddha taught balance, the middle way. He rejected both indulgence and deprivation. He didn't ask his followers to starve, but to live in awareness, in generosity, in integrity. Initiation doesn't mean you shouldn't have money. It means money shouldn't have you. Avoiding the material plane. Spiritual seekers often get so focused on higher truths that they neglect the physical world. Skills pile up, skills go undeveloped, opportunities are missed because there's an unconscious belief that matter doesn't matter. But here's the truth. This body is matter. This life is matter. This breath, this food, this home, all are part of the sacred. You don't ascend by ignoring the earth, you ascend by honoring it. 3. Old woundness and limiting beliefs. Any of us inherited negative beliefs about money from our families, cultures, or early experiences. Rich people are greedy. I'll never get ahead. I'm just not good with money. These programs run deep, and without healing them, one amount of chanting will change your financial life. You may think you're being humble, but you're actually repeating unconscious patterns. The Dharma invites us to look at all suffering clearly, including our money stories. 4. Lack of right livelihood. One of the key teachings of Buddhism is right livelihood, earning income in a way that aligns with your values, but many spiritual people either stay in jobs that drain them or avoid earning altogether. They fear that charging for their gifts is wrong. They underprice themselves. They give everything away and feel guilty receiving. But true right livelihood is an act of service. When you offer your gifts in a way that helps others and sustains you, that is Dharma in action. And when you receive compensation with gratitude, you complete the sacred cycle of exchange. 5. Karmic lessons. Karma is real, and sometimes the financial struggle we face is part of a karmic lesson, not as punishment, but as refinement. Maybe we're learning to value ourselves. Maybe we're learning to serve from the heart, not the ego. Maybe we're clearing debts, emotional, energetic, ancestral. But karma is not fixed, it's fluid. The way we meet our challenges determines whether we stay stuck or evolve. Let's pause here and breathe. This is not about playing. It's not about saying. It's about honesty. If you're struggling financially, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong, but it does mean there's something to look at, something to learn, something to integrate. The path of awakening is not just about transcending the world. It's about transforming your relationship with it. Money is a powerful mirror for that transformation. Let me tell you a story. A young woman I once knew was deeply committed to her spiritual path. He meditated daily, attended every Dharma talk, and served at her local temple. But he was always broke. He barely made rent, skipped meals, and felt constant anxiety about money. When asked why he didn't seek better-paying work, he'd say, "That's not spiritual. I'm not doing this for money." But over time, her health declined, her stress rose. He began to resent the very path he once loved. One day, her teacher gently said, "Your suffering is not virtue. It's a sign that something is out of balance." The Buddha didn't ask you to struggle like this. He asked you to wake up. That changed everything. Ye began to see that earning money could be an act of love for herself, her family, and the community he wanted to serve. He started offering spiritual coaching, pricing her services fairly, and letting people pay what they could. He didn't become rich overnight, but he became nourished, sustainable, peaceful. He learned that abundance wasn't about having more. It was about being in right relationship with giving and receiving. This is the heart of spiritual prosperity. I ask you, what is your relationship with money? Do you push it away, face it, resent it, worship it? Or do you greet it as a teacher, a tool, a test? When money comes into your life, do you use it to uplift others? When it leaves, do you bless its journey? Do you trust that you are supported? Do you act like someone who values themselves and their path? These are not easy questions, but they are holy questions. And they will reveal to you exactly where your growth lies. Let's gather all the pieces we've explored and bring them into the light, because this conversation isn't just about money. It's about worth. It's about awakening. It's about who you believe you are and who you are willing to become. You see, wealth and poverty are not just states of your bank account, they are reflections of your consciousness. Real poverty is forgetting your inner richness. Real wealth is remembering your divine worth. You can have millions and feel empty. You can have nothing and feel whole. But you can also feel full and be provided for. You can walk with humility and receive abundance. You can serve others and be well paid. There is no contradiction when your heart is clear. So if you felt guilty for wanting more, let that go. If you've judged yourself for struggling, forgive yourself. If you've believed that being broke somehow made you more pure, look deeper. Because the Buddha did not ask you to suffer endlessly. He did not demand self-denial as proof of your devotion. He invited you to wake up, to see clearly, live skillfully, walk the middle way, not the path of indulgence, not the path of deprivation, but the path of wisdom. And wisdom says, you are allowed to thrive. You are allowed to be compensated. You are allowed to live without financial fear. You are allowed to rest, to receive, to rise. Not as a rewards for being spiritual, but as a reflection of your alignment with truth. Because when your actions, thoughts, and intentions are in harmony, then you give without depletions. When you receive without shanks. When you serve without attachments. Abundance flows, maybe not in the exact form or timing you expect, but in the deeper form your soul needs. And here's the paradox. When you no longer chase money from lack, it begins to find you from love. When you see money not as a source of security, but as a current of compassion, it circulates. When you stop rejecting the material world and start blessing it, you realize the spiritual and the material are not separate. They are two wings of the same bird. And that bird is you. Flying between heaven and earth. Rooted and rising. Giving and receiving. And always, always growing. So if you've asked, why am I still broke after learning Buddhism? The answer is not to chant harder, or to feel ashamed, or to give up. The answer is to look honestly. To kill the beliefs that limit you. Align your values with your work. To give generously and receive gracefully. To know that your worth was never measured by your wallet, but your relationship to life itself. And from that place, abundance becomes inevitable. Not just financial, but emotional, relational, spiritual. Because the moment you remember your inner richness, the outer world reflects it back. So now, I'd love to hear from you. What beliefs have you held about money and spirituality? Have you struggled with guilt, fear, or scarcity? Have you found ways to bridge your practice and your prosperity? Air your truth in the comments. Your voice matters. And if this conversation has touched you, please support this space. Like the subscribe and join our growing community. Every heart that shows up here adds to the light. Until next time, may you walk in wisdom. As you give with love, you receive with peace. And may your life, inside and out, be rich in what truly matters.